warm OC welcome to Geeks. Alrighty, so thank you Diana, thank you to the whole team at the Women Network. I am super excited to be here. I am actually a little nervous, which is not normal, but I know there's so many amazing minds out here, so I am just thrilled that you are here with me today and that I'm here with you. So the first thing that we're going to want to do to get the most out of today is I want you to really bring your curiosity. Can everybody see? You guys see? I want you to bring your curiosity. Who in here thinks they know themselves pretty well? And who in here thinks they could probably learn a little bit more about themselves? Yeah? So today, the goal is that you actually learn something about yourself that you didn't know. And I'm going to encourage you to really look deeply into that, like opening up our minds. Sometimes, can you relate to, we've known how to do something for so long, and we've just been doing it our way, and we stop being curious. We stop being curious about ourselves because we've just been used to doing it the way we've been doing it. But today, we're going to break that cycle a little bit, and we're going to crack open. That's not me, but that's kind of cool. Diana, is that your phone? Well, I feel like we should start dancing. No? Okay. Anyway, so this is really cool because the next thing I'm going to teach you is the basic model of human behavior, and it starts with thinking. And did you know who knows how many thoughts we have per second? We have about 30 thoughts a second. So y'all just had 90 thoughts. Which makes it tricky when someone says, I want you to stay focused, right? Because we're all just like, we were focused and then the music and then we, you know what I mean? So there's all these things happening. Does anyone else have any distractions in their life? Yes? Have you ever been where you're trying to get something done and then you just get totally sidetracked, right? You're alphabetizing your paper clips and all these things are happening that are keeping you from those revenue producing activities. So, we have 30 thoughts a second. You don't need to remember all of them or know all of them, but understand the power. When you get the power of your thinking, there's a lot happening under the surface. We've got those subconscious, unconscious thinking. That is responsible for 95 to 99% of your behavior. So most of the time, you don't actually know what you're doing anyway, right? And what we want to do is bring in that consciousness, which is that slower thinking, but it takes a little bit more energy, it takes more time. So that's what, we don't have to do everything consciously, but when we are having a little bit of a challenge, or we have a new goal in front of us, something that we have never done before, it's going to take more of that conscious thinking, right? And especially if we want to change a habit or do something different, we think, oh, we'll do it for 21 days. Have you ever done something for 21 days and then just went right back to the whole thing that you did before? Right. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's complicated, and it depends on each one of us and how strongly connected are we to our vision. So when we talk about thoughts, it's like, I want to be able to catch those thoughts that are within me, within each one of you, that actually is keeping me from that very thing that I want. And if I don't even know what that thought is, then you're unarmed, right? So we want to understand what's that thought that lies within me, that's individual to me, and then as I dig further, what does that mean? Like, where did I get that? Where did I learn that? Not so much that you need to dwell on that, but so that you can become more aware. And then next time it happens, it's going to happen next time. It's going to keep happening. We don't do lobotomies at productive learning. You know, like we can't get rid of, right? It's going to happen again, but how do you want to deal with it? How do you want to experience it? How can you get to that point where you think, oh yeah, here's that thought that I need to wait. Or here's that thought I'm going to get in trouble if. Or here's that thought like, I better ask permission, or what do I have to do to get? Is that thought helping me right now? And to be able to develop that level of discernment is very, very critical. Okay, so we have our thoughts, we also have our feelings, right? And we're not going to go too much into this because I want to get to our experiential part that we're going to do today. But we have thoughts, we have feelings, we have thoughts, and they go back and forth and so forth. I say, whichever one you can catch, grab that one, it's the piece of the puzzle, and then start filling in the rest, okay? So some of you, who in here really catches their feelings really well? Okay? Some, yeah. How about your thoughts? Do you catch your thoughts a little bit more? Okay, yeah. There was a time where they'd say, well, where do you feel at your body? I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know. So, but then other people are very like, oh, I feel it, you know. So I've developed that over the years, but it's not, we're all different, that's okay. So what happens then is with our feelings, that fuels our action. So when you know what you're supposed to be doing in your business, but you find that you're not doing it that day, that hour, whatever, right? Then that's a clue to know that it's a mindset issue. There is something else going on. Let me repeat. So when you know what to do, but you're not doing it, that's where you got to dig a little deeper. How am I feeling right now? What am I thinking right now? What else is going on that I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing it, right? Make sense? Yeah? And this is where that empowerment comes, because that's not the same for anybody in this room. Totally different. And it could also be different for you depending on what's going on. Okay? So you want to really start to understand what equations do I have in my mind. And a great way to, as we have these 30 thoughts a second, the great way to start changing the results, which is the next one person to get our results, it's like, okay, we have 30 thoughts a second, how do I actually change these results? Well, you want to use, want to create a mindful experience, put yourself into a conscious environment to change that, to change those thoughts with a experienced facilitator, because can you get yourself out of your crappy thinking with your crappy thinking? No. Okay? Right? We just agree that it's not, no, that's not a good solution. Because you're going to come around this, you're going to try something different, but you're going to get the same result. So we want to start to really have someone else to mirror that for us so that we can see and then create an experience. Have you ever had a life-changing experience? And you remember that? As I say this right now, you probably a couple things come in your mind. Did it happen intentionally, or was it just, hey, this really happened, was kind of unexpected, I met the love of my life, whatever, right? What you want to do is, how can I create an intentional experience that will change my thinking? And that's what we do at Productive Learning, because we have workshops that we create that experience for you so that you can go, I was in that room, this is what happened, I learned this about me, and you're putting all the pieces together quickly. That's what we want. Okay, so are you ready to have an experience? Yes. Okay, good. Well, you're in the right spot. Okay, so Vaughn, come on down. Christ, right. Green. We'll start with blue, then we'll do green. Okay, so I want you to think, what result would you like to have, a little time to dream, what result would you like to have by the end of the year that you do not currently have? And we'll take a couple, so raise your hand when you're ready to share, and Vaughn is going to write it down for us.
I'd like to do $2 million in sales.
Molly, $2 million in sales. So you just got 2 10. Perfect. Next. Yes?
Sell 70,000 books.
70,000 bucks.
Okay.
We're like, okay, now we're getting it, Kelly.
Get on a stage with at least 500 people to do a keynote concert.
500 people on stage, audience, keynote concert.
Casey.
Woo.
Finish
Finish her book. Finish her book. Okay? Carol.
Sell the book for a movie.
Sell the book for a movie. Ooh, sex happens in the movies. Or the other one, Gracie. What else? Yes, Diane.
Complete my TED Talk.
Complete your TED Talk. Good. Wow, these are great. See, this power of this room, this is happening. Here, 2019 is going to be amazing. What else do we have? What else do we have? We do like 5 more. You're amongst friends.
More speaking opportunities.
Dr. Gail would like to speak more. Speaking opportunities. Great. Jennifer.
Produce 4 fashion galas for fun.
That's right. You were just sharing that with me. Produce 4 fashion galas. Jennifer.
We'd like to double our sales working 3 days a week.
Double sales working 3 days a week. So double sales but working less. Sounds good, right? Anything else want to do that? Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Be on a national talk show.
Be on a national talk show. All right. Okay, one more. 2. Okay. Todd.
Also, sell 10 times the amount of downloadable products that I do.
10x your downloadable sales. 10 times the amount of downloadable sales. I like it. Libby.
Be a guest on the Ellen Show.
Oh, be a guest on the Ellen Show.
I
Who
like
wants
that.
to be with Libby on the Ellen Show, right? Okay, very
Yes.
Good. Okay, great. All right, so, and if you don't have yours on the board, I'm sure you have one in your mind. Just hold on to that, okay? All right, so I'm going to give you a little break, and then we're going to come back. Yep, we're going to come back. I'm going to take on everywhere I go. It's great. I love it. So I usually have to write and do this all at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to take it in reverse. So we have our results, right? Like when we're filling in the puzzle. We've got the results. Great. This is how we start to create a winning mindset. How do I know what are all pieces and how do they fit for me? We're not gonna go too into that today, I have 20 minutes, and I usually spend 2 days going through this. But you get the idea, right? So we have our results, we have our end game. Here's where I wanna go, right? And what's next if we're going backwards? Do you remember? Action, you got it. Okay, so would you say collectively that you have somewhat of an idea of how to get this achieved? Yeah, right? And can we also agree that when there's something that we haven't achieved yet, there is a gap? There may be some resistance to that, high, low, but a little bit because it hasn't happened yet, or it hasn't happened consistently, right? So, again, that's where we go like, okay, great, if you've got your to-do list and you're doing it and you're tracking, you're on track. If you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not on track and you've fallen off and you've gotten derailed, then we need to keep moving forward. So that's where the just do it and stay focused, we get a little tricky with that. If we start noticing that we're procrastinating and what people come to me and they say, I'm self-sabotaging. I'm like, no, you're not. You just think you are because your subconscious is getting exactly what it wants. Your conscious mind is not. Which one's more powerful, subconscious or conscious?
Subconscious.
Right, 95 to 99%. So that machine that your 24/7 employee, your subconscious mind, is not on board, you're not gonna get what you want. So we need to start saying like, what's going on underneath the surface? What's happening within me that's creating this, right? So then we start asking, what about my feelings? What about my feelings? Can you change your feelings? Okay, and we'll give you 5 seconds to get really mad. Go for it.
I got it.
Yeah, Todd's like, I'm mad and I'm not taking it anymore. Right, so our feelings can change, but the access that we have to them, that's a little bit different. We can react to something. And so that's where it's interesting. And what feelings do we have? What feelings do you have that are habitual? Like, can you answer that? Do you know what feelings you have that are habitual? Yeah. So those are good questions. This is really putting your emotional intelligence toolbox at play here. If you don't know what feelings you have that are habitual, and I guarantee you have them, we all have our own little ingredients, our own little flavor of what happens and how we react, and when we get down, we're not always on, right? We're not always in flow. So what happens that can derail us from our dreams, from our purpose? I want to know that information. Okay, so then, how many thoughts a second? 30 thoughts a second. Yeah, 30 thoughts a second. So Lisa, great, we have 30 thoughts a second. How are we gonna get all this done? Again, it comes back, you have habitual feelings, you have habitual thinking. You have habitual thinking too. And if you don't know what those habitual thoughts are that are derailing you, you're already up against, like, you're unarmed. You're completely unarmed. And if you're also have that thought that's in the toolbox that's really helping you, but you use that tool for every single problem, that's also not a good idea. So we need to develop the ability to discern when do I use this part of me and when do I need to shift and change it up a little bit. Add more tools to the toolbox. Make sense? Okay? So then what'll happen is that we go through the cycle and then we justify our results based on our original assumption that we had about the whole thing in the first place. And that's where you say to yourself, I knew that was going to happen, or, well, that's why I didn't want to try it in the first place because I knew it wasn't going to work, right? So we'll have that little inner dialogue that justifies why we shouldn't have made that phone call, or why we shouldn't have gone for that, or we shouldn't have done our event, or whatever that is that we tried to go for it and it didn't work out. Because also the subconscious mind really likes to be right, much more than changing. Yeah, it likes to be the same and it likes to be right, because that's how you stay alive. If you were a cave person and you ate a berry that looked really good and died, that's not a good idea, right? So you're saying, like, I might as well stay with a really icky berry because I know I'm going to live. Okay? So we are going to move from icky berries to delicious berries, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to put this into play, and I'm going to look here at this list. We have a lot of amazing goals. All right, so what I'm going to do here, we're going to use money as our metaphor because we're here for business, right? Who in here would like to have more money versus less money? All right, well, that's good. Are you sure? You're sure? Okay, everyone's sure. Okay, cool. Who would like $20?
Yes.
I was going to say.
Congratulations. Okay, let's give her a hand. Okay, all right, so now, here, and probably some of you have seen that before, right? Yeah. So, yeah, the finance, fellow finance. So, now, here's where it gets interesting. How many thoughts do we have per second?
90.
What we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to see what thoughts came up for you. And this is where, remember, I said get curious about yourself. What came up when we just said, we all agreed that we wanted more money, then it was available to us, then something happened, even if it was just 2 seconds, that's 60 thoughts. Something happened within you that kept you in your seat or hesitate or whatever. And so this is where we get really curious and real with each other. Like, what thought was that? What was going on? So, who would be, and then we're going to hear Marcia in a second. Yes?
You're looking for my thought that I had?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my thought was, is it going to be worth it for me to get up, trip, and kill myself?
Is it going to be
Grab that $20.
Right. Is it going to be worth it? Notice she went right to death. Like, wow, okay. I mean, we're laughing, but honestly, there's probably something to that.
My analytical mind went to, is she going to ask us a question to win the $20?
Mhm.
What do I have to do to work for
What do I have to do to work for it?
But it was more like, what does my brain have to do to unlock the $20?
Sure. What do I have to do?
Yeah.
So, you're working hard, right? Yeah.
'Cause that's-
There's an assumption there, right? There's an assumption that she's going to have to work hard. Yes. And Mary and then Libby.
Mine was similar, it was uncertainty.
Uncertainty, yeah. How so?
And you were
Because you're like right here, so
I know,
so
right?
tell us more about that.
Because I was wondering, what are we gonna have to do to get the $20?
So same thing, like what are you gonna have to do? But you noticed a feeling of uncertainty, okay? And then you were more like, I was analyzing it, using my
Well, I was
logic,
going to
and
go for it. I was going to get it. 'cause
Totally.
I always win. I never
always
lose.
win, except for
So I
today.
was like, what
Yeah.
am I-
Yeah, great. Right, she's a winner. She's like, do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, Libby, and then we're gonna Libby.
Well, I have to wonder how this shows up in my life, but I was busy taking notes. I was not paying attention.
Not paying attention. Anything else? Not paying attention. Okay, Kelly.
Well, it was sort of like Libby's, only it was even further removed because it was more like sort of taking notes, but almost like watching TV. Like you cease to be a person in the room with you and actually engage with.
Right. Because that's a really good point. Because why? What does this look like right now?
TV.
And what did you do from kindergarten through school? Do you run up and grab something from the teacher? Of course not. That you would get in trouble.
So that's probably
Then
why.
you get beaten, right? Or something. I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. Scratch that from the record. Scratch that from the record. Sorry, sometimes my humor is faster than my logic. That was not funny. Okay, so, yes.
My thought wasn't what I need to do, my thought was what are you gonna do next?
What am I going to do next? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so what am I going to do next? Yes.
I honestly immediately thought, well, I think she's going to give a better offer. I'm going to wait till she puts
I'm
the
waiting for Okay, good. So being really honest with yourself, even if yours isn't up here, like what is that going on? And Marcia, what thought prompted you to run up here?
I remember seeing that and I wasn't thinking and I just got up and went.
Okay, good. So you learned.
I'm exploding.
So you're
with it.
teachable.
Yes.
There we go. I love it. Okay, good. Awesome. Molly.
Because I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I've seen somebody do that. And then I went, oh my God, no, it's happening right now. So it took a second for me to
Right.
realize.
Sometimes it takes us a couple times to learn it, right? Okay, so thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Everyone give on a really big hand. I'm not kidding. I have them come with me all the time. All right, so I want you to think about what opportunities is this thought costing you. Remember, sometimes this thought's very helpful. We want to wait or be polite, or maybe if it's like, there's a catch, or what do I have to do for it? That can be like part of our work ethic that's really powerful and strong. But then what else does it cost us if we're walking in and thinking, what do I have to do for it? Or I haven't earned it yet, or I better wait for directions, or wait for some better offer, or wait for somebody else to do something. Like, where is that showing up in your business? Right. And that's what we want to start to uncover. Not just what is it costing you, but where did it come from? Why is it so prominent? And I know it's prominent because We have 30 thoughts a second, and that's the one that came up for you. So the loudest one, the most common one in that subconscious mind is saying like, pick me, right? There's all these other things that were happening, but that's the one that came up. So if it comes out of your mouth, I already know that means it's pretty strong. What? Right? Okay, so I want to give you a free gift. Your table leader has something they're going to pass it around. You don't need to fill this out right now. You can have plenty of time after to fill it out. There are 2 things on this form. One is a webinar that you can receive. We'll make sure you get that next week. It's a free webinar, 3 Keys to Transformation. Just check the box, put your email and your name on there. On the right, there is a box. If you have a group that's local here in Southern California that you'd like to have a speaker at, write your name and information and the name of the group, and I will connect with you to see if that works out for both of us, okay? Now, I said don't fill it out yet, so look up here. How many fingers are there? 2, great. Okay, so one of the things that we do is, I do teach this workshop called Beyond Reason. It's pretty amazing. It's the one Diane was talking about. And I want to, I have it in my hand right here. And this is an opportunity, if you want to take this deeper, and you're like, I want to know where that came from. I want to know how can I discern when I use that thought and whatnot. And wow, it's here in Orange County. That's not too far from where I am. Then I would like to offer this to somebody.
Who's gonna go get it? Go get it!
The quick and the hungry. The quick and the hungry. Jennifer will be attending. Awesome. So, with that, I'm going to conclude. Professional. Thank you for playing. This has been fun, yes?
Yes.
Yes, it's been fun. Hopefully you learned something about yourself and how you can create that winning mindset. Really look deeply into that reason that you had. Where is that costing you? Get curious about yourself. That's how you start creating a winning mindset. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, we already know what that is. This is different. This is, let me look further in. Let me lean into this and see how can I start to actually change and transform and shift what's within me, what's within my hands to change. And there's a lot. So thank you.
What were some of the takeaways? What were some of the things that you heard today that you are going to take home with you? What are some of the ideas you got? Who wants to share? Todd.
When I go out, I should mug somebody for.
If they're holding out anything worthwhile, grab it, right?
Actually, don't hesitate.
Don't hesitate, right? Hesitate is definitely, that hesitation can cost you quite a bit. What else? Yes?
Basically, take action when there's an opportunity, and you have to be able to see the opportunity, even if it's small.
Yeah.
And take action right away. And it's most people are waiting for the right moment. Yeah. The right moment is now.
That's right. The right moment is now. Yes. Yes, Molly.
There's also a lot of waiting for permission.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we just allow
What's that
ourselves,
about?
if we just allow ourselves to know we're in control and we get to decide.
Didn't we become entrepreneurs because we didn't want to follow any rules, right? Wasn't that part of the plan? Yeah, that's true. Asking for that permission, being a little more open. What else? What else did you hear? Yes.
Well, I was like one of those, I'm gonna wait to see what she says next. So then I thought, I think what that brought out, thinking about it, is that I'm cautious.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's good, sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So maybe taking a little more managed risk, not being as cautious. And then, yes, I mean,
The loudest thought wins.
the loudest thought wins. Yeah, and we got what, 30 thoughts? Wow. I know, my mother. What I thought too, this was very interesting because it shows like where your like gaps are, right? And I think just really asking ourselves those questions, like acknowledging what we're hearing, you know, from our own voice. Sometimes it's easy to kind of dismiss it. What else? Anybody else?
Our feelings have habits.
We have habitual mutual feelings, yes.
Right? Based on our experiences, based on our life, our environment, what we've had happen to us in the past, right? What else? Did you have something? Yes?
Pick a chair closer to the speaker next time.
I love that, right? That is really great. Well, first of all, was she not amazing? Was this not great? Stay here. Okay, so two things. First, we have just a little gift for you. Just to say thank you for coming in and speaking. So it's nothing big, just something kind. And then secondly, we have some news. Yeah, we do. So our most recent member of the Women Network is Ms. Lisa Reed. She joined. And to celebrate her joining today and becoming a member, she wants to offer, who are our guests today? Can we have the guests stand up? Come on, stand up. Yep. All the people that are guests, to celebrate the membership, her joining, you have something special for them. All right, Coach, so share.
You can share. I'm gonna share. Okay. So should you decide to join the women today, you also will receive the workshop that Jennifer just won. That'll be included in your membership, but you just need to give me your form today, and I think you need to give Diana your form today too. So, but it's basically like a really big bonus.
Your membership perfect.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, so you get the class after memberships for one price, basically. So, but that's something that you want to do. And we just had Miss Patty, and I hope you know your last name, Latrice.